Clit and jaw is kind of a big deal. And no, I'm not making it up. I sat down today to watch Question Period. Pierre Poilievre's supposed to be there. He ain't there. I'm going to show you what happened. I got a clip of the House Speaker banning him. Basically, banning him from speaking. He could go to Question Period today, but they're going to pretend that he's not there. That's what he says. Yesterday during Question Period, Pierre Poilievre got up and he asked a whackload of times to the Liberals, do you condemn what the protesters are doing? Because what they're doing, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad what they're saying. Basic question. Do you condemn it? Anybody would condemn it.
I gave the Foreign Affairs Minister 2 opportunities to condemn the increasingly common and terrifying anti-Semitic chants we hear in the streets. Israel will soon be gone. There is only one solution, Intifada revolution. Twice she refused to condemn those remarks. She continues to pander to Hamas supporters in the Liberal Party as part of her leadership campaign rather than doing her job. So I'll give her another chance. This government has sought to divide Canadians by saying one thing to one group and precisely the opposite to another group. And here in this House, remaining radio silent on condemning anti-Semitic chants and on supporting Israel's right to truly defend itself by retaliating against the terrorists and tyrants. Why won't she do the right thing and stand beside the Jewish people today?
Yeah. But they wouldn't do it. At one point, she gets up. Don't you talk to me like that. Say sorry.
Any form of discrimination, and I really hope that my colleague in front will apologize.
So today, while business is going on, the House Speaker comes in, interrupts everybody, and says, I'm going to show you what he says. I really feel like the House Speaker is making things up. The House Speaker wanted Pierre Poilievre to take his words back. Poilievre says no. The House Speaker is now punishing them. And I'm wondering, what was so bad that Pierre Poilievre even said? Watch this, guys. Also listen to the French part because he doesn't say it all in English.
Give a shout out to mayors from my riding who... Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt the honourable member for Béthune-Masquinongé. He will have 3 minutes 40 to finish his speech, but I must interrupt him to make a statement.
Indicated that during Question Period, the Leader of the Opposition had used language directed at the Minister of Foreign Affairs that was deemed to be unparliamentary. In fact, it was very similar in nature and language used earlier this year by a member who accused the Leader of the Opposition of pandering to an odious regime. At the time, that member was asked to withdraw that comment. I therefore asked yesterday that the Leader of Opposition do the same, namely to withdraw his comment at the earliest opportunity. To date, this has not happened. We will soon find ourselves at the time of day where the Leader of the Opposition normally undertakes one of his most important roles, namely leading off Question Period. Members will recall that when the Leader of the Opposition was himself the subject of unparliamentary language, to which I just referred, members of his caucus took great offence and made that perfectly clear to the chair occupant, who then very rightly insisted on a withdrawal. As such, I am sure members can appreciate that I must do the same in the present circumstances.
Our parliamentary system depends on respect for the rules that members set out for themselves, and the application of which has been entrusted to the Speaker and other chair occupants. Ignoring the authority of the chair, who is in charge of enforcing parliamentary rules, has a corrosive effect on our discussions. I would call on all members, and especially the leaders of the different parties represented in the House, to reflect on this. These situations only tarnish the reputation of the House and its members in the eyes of the public. This undermines the important work done by the House.
Opposition is an experienced member who is well versed in our practices and procedures. He knows that in our system, the role of the Leader of the Opposition is to ask questions to the Ministry, to ensure it is held accountable for its actions, and to challenge its decisions. His role is not to make the government comfortable, quite the contrary, but his actions must also be exercised within the existing boundaries of parliamentary decorum. Au cours des quelques mois derniers,
Over the last few months, the member refused to heed decisions by the chair on non-parliamentary remarks during question periods on 2 occasions. In the first occasion, he was named. On the second occasion, his party had questions removed. Yesterday's events represent a third occasion.
the opposition should withdraw his comments made yesterday during question period. If he is not willing to do so, the chair will not recognize him for the remainder of today's sitting. I thank honourable members.
What's that?